Brownsville Pace coming up huge against PSG North on the road and in far, thanks to a fantastic performance from Dustin Hernandez, the Vikings quarterback. Brownsville Pace wins their first playoff game since 1983, wins the first Brownsville playoff game since 2003 in that Porter Billy Garza team, and wins the first game for a Brownsville 5A team in the playoffs since Tom Chavez did it with Brownsville Rivera 11 years ago. Afterwards, you could tell that Pace happy to get past that first round block.
Tell you what a feeling, man. These kids, there's not a group that deserves it more than these kids. They worked hard to get here, I'm telling you. I'm really proud of them.
We've been talking about it since two-a-days, since off season. We've been waiting for this moment. We finally got here and we got the job done. It's great. We're the first team, we're the first 5A team in Pace to do it. I mean, we're just really proud. We're just planning on keep on moving forward.
So, for their efforts, Brownsville Pace now gets the unbeaten Laredo Alexander Bulldogs in a 4 o'clock Saturday game that will be here in the Valley. It's only the second game in the Valley coming up this week at Veterans Memorial Stadium in McAllen. Waiting for the winner of Pace Alexander will be Cibolo Steel, ranked 5th in the state, or San Antonio Brandeis. Brendan, you were at this game. As a matter of fact, you got your pants wet whenever they poured the water bucket on Coach Medrano. So you were right in the middle of it. Yeah. This team very happy. Can they go further?
We'll see. I mean, they've become what I thought one of the more balanced teams in the Valley to now a pretty pass-heavy team. Sam Trejo got hurt, senior running back, and he's never really gotten his legs back. They haven't established that power ground game. So they've become, quite one-dimensional, I would say, but the good thing is that Dustin Hernandez happens to be one of the best quarterbacks, at least throwing-wise, in the Valley, and he's got some pretty good receivers, C.J. Arizmendi, Adrian Alejandro. Those guys have been awesome. So I think that Pace has what it takes. It'll be interesting to see if they can do it all through the year like they have been.
Impressed by Pace, Joe, and what they've been able to do? How do you think they'll fare in the next round?
Well, again, I think it's going to come down to can they score some points and score some points early and stay in this ball game. I think it makes even more of a statement as to what they did against the Westaco team, as the fact that this team is right where everyone said, hey, can they really do this? Yes, they can. And that Westaco was no fluke. It was a victory. And it was a victory against a playoff team that we'll talk about in a little bit, but now they're up against a team with some offense. But I don't think it's going to scare them. I think they have a chance to win this game.
Pace gave Westaco their first loss. Can they give Laredo Alexander their first loss? The Alexander Bulldogs, they've got Brian Swain at quarterback. They've got Xavier Scaggs at running back, and more importantly, coming out of the backfield and catching the passes. That's what they did against Mac High. Greg, does Pace have the defensive backfield to where they can stop Scaggs and stop Alexander?
Yeah, they do. And a guy named Kyle Carter, who has 7 interceptions this year, is going to be of the utmost significance. But it all starts up front. If Insignia and Macias and some of these cats can get pressure on the quarterback, and if he makes some bad throws, which he has done, by the way, Swain is a great quarterback, but against the 2 top teams in the district, he had poor games. He has 8 interceptions the last 4 games coming into the playoffs, so he's a great athlete, but he ain't that great. So you got to get pressure on him, and I'm telling you, Kyle Carter is everywhere, man. That guy, remember, at the end of last year, he came out of nowhere. They can beat him. They scored 42 points against PSG North. Pace's main deal right now is don't be satisfied. Okay, all this superlative, first time, and don't worry about that, because if you are rest on those laurels and are satisfied, you're going to get blown out. I think they can compete with them. I really do. And playing around here, there's going to be a lot of people from Brownsville at that game. I think they can win.